Who you fighting, bro?
Are we on?
Who you fighting?
Oh, I was just... Yes! What's up, guys? This is, I'm going to intro Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome to RAWtalk episode number 237, and it's our second week back since we have the new set.
Yes.
Steven, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Todd, how are you?
I'm good.
Dan...
Oh, you got to give Dan a minute. You got to give
He's got to
Dan a
get
minute.
used to that.
Whoa!
Oh!
Hey-o.
But guess what he doesn't have, Todd?
Exactly. A penis in your... Oh, a microphone. I'm sorry.
That was a throwback to the Wayback Machine. Anyway, so we've made some changes this week. We listened to some of the things you guys had to say.
Still
Todd,
adjusting, too. Still adjusting.
So the gel thing, I'm going to show you some gels right here. This is a gel from Roscoe Color.
Yes.
Right? And
Roscoe P. Colching.
There's a hole in the middle of whiteness. And we're not talking about Todd on the wall over there. We're talking about the gel. What happened? Oh, my God. You can literally see
it pretty much
LED
burned through
it didn't
the
burn.
color aspect.
No, what they said is that it forced the gel particles to be
The color
bombarded
off. Yes.
and moved them.
Yeah.
So
it didn't physically burn through, but yeah.
So now we're trying with them a couple of inches further.
Yeah.
But we don't have enough gels for Todd's background. So Roscoe Gel Company, would you like to hook us up with some more gels to put on our set? And we just plugged them. They make good gels. We just didn't expect this particle bombardment thing to happen.
Yeah.
And that's a quote from them from Facebook.
Who does?
You want to talk about Daniel's setup?
Yeah, so Dan, we hooked him up with a D850. This is a little different this time around. We usually have like the GoPro as the master wide. This time around, we're just going to use a D850 with a Rokinon 12mm fisheye.
Yeah, they sent us that a long time ago.
I think it's like a T3.1 lens or something.
Or a T2000.
Yeah, but Dan, if you want to cut to your angle, if you can. There we go. Look at that. And now you can see all of us. Now you guys actually have context as to how far away Todd is and why I'm always like looking that way backwards toward Todd.
I love the fact that we have the multiple, that you can see everything. All right, cut back to us. We don't want to look at you, Dan.
And Dan's switcher setup is basically he's got his two monitors, his main monitor with all the switching stuff, and then his program out on the right side.
Also,
nice.
Want to say hi to everybody in the chat who's watching us live.
Yeah.
I'm waving to you. Todd is monitoring the chat as we speak. Super chats are available. If you'd like to do a super chat, by all means, go ahead and do it, but that doesn't mean we won't answer your questions otherwise. We will answer super chat questions. We will also answer regular questions because that's what we do. So if you're missing the live broadcast right now, just know that you can tune in on Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check it. Oh, did you see that? I saw it blink on my eye over here, which means Todd was
Todd is
paying
actually
attention.
paying attention.
Would he be would you call him like a producer of the show?
Something like that.
Does he get credit? No, right?
Definitely not.
Well, I'm a producer and an editor, kind of, so I'd like to call myself a predator.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Hey, I have a question. Should we have Dollar Shave Club sponsor?
Definitely for you.
Yeah.
I don't shave. Todd doesn't shave. Steven doesn't have enough
Let's
facial hair.
let's all
grow
go
hair.
naked for one of the shows. Like not naked.
I don't know if
but
they
like
actually pay enough. They're not a sponsor currently.
shave our faces.
They're not a sponsor currently, but they've offered. They reach out to everybody.
Oh, nice.
So why wouldn't we? But anyway, 3 p.m. Fridays. If you don't get to tune in, you could also go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/podcasts. You don't have a link for that, Todd, where you can download any of the podcasts, listen to them there, or also subscribe on any of the podcast networks. It's supposed to be on Spotify, but something about Spotify just seems to be slow.
The only thing, Spotify seems to take almost 5 or 6 hours for it to actually update, where iTunes is almost instant.
iTunes is almost instant from when I put them up.
Yep.
So let's talk about Dan. See, because Dan you don't have to cut to yourself, Dan. I don't want you to cut yourself. You're not a cutter. But he's got a D850, and the reason we're able to put a D850 there is because Nikon hooked us up with loaner gear. We don't get to keep it. We get to use it. They sent us 3 D850s, which gives us a total of 5.
Hell yes.
Because don't tell Nikon, but I still have the press preview one. Don't tell them. Shh. Don't tell them. I still have the press preview one that they gave us when we went on that trip. So we have that, and I bought one at Alan's Camera. personally bought one so we could have it on the set. We've got 5 of them here, which is more than what Nikon has been able to ship and sell because they're so far behind.
Yeah.
They asked what glass would we like to borrow. We're like, yeah, send two 70-200 2.8 VRs, FLs. They sent those. A 24-70 non-VR because I kind of like that a little better for video. And then 85-1.4.
And my thing is I love primes. I'd love to have all the primes in the world, but with what we do, just having that, we could switch back and forth between 24-70, 70-200. Having the extra range is great.
Dude, the 70-200 is so sharp. It's
not locked in at like 85 millimeters or 50 or 24. We can switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up. So that's the quick update on that stuff. But then here's some factory update stuff. The first thing is that we've been having, we're in an all-brick building, and it's from the 1800s of some point, so it's older than the factory where I'm at. It's older than where I live.
It's older than me.
1906.
It's almost as old as Todd.
Almost.
And so because we have
slightly
brick,
older.
and the owners before me painted the outside, of course you get some effervescence on the inside.
Yeah.
And we also had, it snowed in one day.
Literally.
It was snowing
inside the
between,
building.
between the roof and the top of the wall has just been seeping air forever. And by seeping, I mean there was like an inch there that you could see outside. So anyway, we have these masons. These guys did a great job, sealed up the wall, sealed up what we needed, but also we had a big hole in the inside wall, and when they were bricking it up, I thought it would be cool if we put a time capsule in there and a bobblehead.
Yeah.
So we wrote notes. I wrote a note.
I still don't know what you wrote, by the way.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Or should I make it a secret?
No, you got to tell us.
You could see the bobblehead getting put up into the wall, which is pretty awesome right there. Oh, actually, that's not the footage because I didn't send you the footage. There it is. It's going in there. And then wrapped up in that box. And if you're listening at home, you can watch it. The plastic bag has a pelican, and inside of the pelican...
It's not a pelican, but it's like a pelican.
It's a knockoff pelican. Yeah. We weren't ever going to use it. It was too small.
It's a pelican.
I'm not going to put a pelican in a time capsule.
No, the bird would just die really fast. And so we put some hair picks in there. On my note, it said this was placed on January 31st, 2018 by Jared Polin. My phone number in 2018 was XYZ. I gave him my phone number, my email address, and I said, if found, please find a relative and tell them I said hello.
You would have to have children, though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. If I'm not here anymore, and I don't own the building, or somebody else, they knock it down, or they discover it one day, because we will paint over that so it looks like it's not. So it matches, and nobody will know that it's there.
Yeah, I think he ran out of white bricks eventually, and there's kind of half red, half white.
I think maybe I'll take it into the paint place and be like, here's some match this off-white color.
Yeah,
and then over time it should just whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that. New store setup.
Yes.
Downstairs. Now we're not talking about the FroKnowsPhoto store itself. We're talking about the camera store that we built a set on for right here. Check this out. Now, it looks awesome on the back of the screen. And then if you step to the side, which I don't know if you showed that or if that froze or whatever.
It seems like it froze.
But whatever. So the set is really cool. We went out to the coolest store ever that I absolutely hate, which is called IKEA. IKEA.
I don't know why you hate it. It's perfect for set building. Man.
So this was under $400 to buy 6 shelves.
Oh, it's great.
Am I keeping the other 2, or are we taking them back?
I think you should take them back. You're going to save $110, whatever it was.
Weren't they $56 each?
$112.
But then I still have to go there.
Yeah. It'll take you half an hour to go there.
I don't know if it's worth it.
I've got a really busy day of moping around and being upset about everything.
Yeah, I don't know about it. But anyway, that's Dan, show the store setup again. Oh, you can see it on the screen. But anyway, so this is going to be where we do unboxings and sniff tests and some this lens versus this lens.
I brought in all my Canon boxes today, so this is actually already out of
obsolete.
Obsolete, and we added some additional lighting to come down on it. Looks dope as AF.
So you'll have to see. You'll have to watch for one of those shows coming up. But yeah, that's unbelievably happy with how it turned out. Didn't expect it to look like a store. And
it's a pretty affordable, cheaper setup. I mean, literally a couple cheap shelves from IKEA. Build them up. We got even some, $5 light. How expensive were the lights, Todd, that you got?
All the lights all together, I mean, they were a little bit over $100, but each of those lights is like $15, but then they all go into one thing.
Oh, they do?
They all go into one thing, and there's a remote that you can actually turn them on and off, dim them with one remote.
Oh, one
It's
job.
really cool. It's
yeah,
really
what you
cool.
guys didn't see on the actual setup here is that we now have these overhang kind of spotlights that are lighting up tungsten gelled the background, and I think that'll really look like a real store. It's going to look great. It looks great on camera. Yeah.
Todd, anybody in the chat saying anything?
Yeah. Well,
value?
I actually asked everybody to check in to see where they're watching from.
Oh, yeah?
So here's a couple people: Victor Gonzalez from NYC, John Mayfield from Nova Scotia, Alexandra from Florida, from Turkey, Serenity Jeanette from North Carolina. Hobbies from Belgium, somebody from Croatia, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Australia, Connecticut, Oklahoma.
Thank you.
All over the world, man. That's great.
Todd will let us know if a super chat pops up. At this point, we will be answering.
Well, and just take relevant questions,
we are
too,
taking
not
relevant
just super
questions,
chat
but
questions.
no, during the show when we get to
Yeah,
flying solo.
I'm gonna definitely try to collect relevant questions throughout the show.
Yep.
If you actually can add like all caps question, it'll pop out for me better. So if you're in the chat and you have a good question, for sure put question in caps and I can see it easier. Now everybody and their mother is telling me where they're from.
Great.
Maine, Barry, Latvia,
name,
Amsterdam. Oh, it's going too fast. Jersey, Harrisburg,
Do
Brazil,
we have it going slow,
South
or?
Africa.
No?
Jersey. Why would you be in Jersey?
The
Yeah.
best.
I mean, you should just leave.
I live in Jersey.
All right, let's keep moving on. So we'll get to your questions at the end of the show, both super chat and regular questions, like we said earlier. But if you do throw a super chat in there during the show, Todd will probably raise his fist in the air with a salute, and then we'll be notified, and we'll do something about that.
You get really special treatment.
Right before we get into the news, don't forget that Photo News Fix is every Wednesday. We do Photo News Fix now every Wednesday. And also every night, I started something new called the DailyFRO. It's where I do an 8 to 12-ish to 15-minute podcasty style thing where I just sit and talk about myself. I don't talk about myself.
Oh, that's weird.
That's different from
That's so
any of
weird.
every other
No,
day. That's weird.
It's actually like therapeutic. It kind of feels like a journal entry.
You just love talking in general.
I think
Not in a bad
people
way.
like it. I think people do enjoy
I
it.
need attention.
No, I wanted to do something. And I started it. And now I want to see where it's going to go. And if people are enjoying it, great. I hope they do. I've given a phone number because the phone number is
867.
Yeah, what is the phone number?
it's
allow them to do?
267-454-6FRO. That is my Google Voice number where you can leave a voicemail about what you think about the episode. I ask a question, let me know what you think. Was I right? Was I wrong? Have you been inspired by anything that any of the team has done? Let me know, leave a voicemail, and maybe I can take one of those voicemails and play it at the end of the show. Cut it in there at the end.
Do you ever ask like a question for the next show so you can actually insert that in the next show and whatever?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're just asking for feedback for that prior show.
Well, I was just asking for feedback in general, too. Like
Nathan Pratt likes the DailyFRO. He told me.
Cool.
Never stopping.
Yep.
But it's also one of those things that it's I have to do it. So I have to do it.
Just start.
I did.
The best.
And now I've done 5 of them. And tonight I'm going to talk about why I traded my 300 2.8 in and what I got for it. And I'm going to talk about that unless something else changes tonight, unless something else pops into my brain that I decide to talk about. Last night I talked about time ticking away. I talked about time. Days before I talked about taking credit cards as a business.
So this is
and why it's
365,
Sounds
huh?
depressing.
This is going to be like every day, no matter
I
what.
plan
type
on
thing?
doing it when I'm away in Paris. I plan on just
wow.
doing it.
Is this in lieu of your therapist?
Well, the therapy, yeah. No, I think it's pretty good. I know you guys don't listen to it, and that's
I
fine.
do. I actually listened to all of them except last night's.
Did you like
Because
it?
I was doing photo news for this show.
What'd you think?
I mean, I already know everything you're going to talk about because you talk about it with me at work. So like, to me, nothing's new, and it's just kind of.
I mean, he tells us when he's getting up to pee. All right, guys, I'm going to pee. All right, I'm about to inhale.
I got to drink water.
I'm going to drink this water right now,
Check
guys.
out my guns. No, it's the same stuff I usually hear during the day, but to the audience, it's great.
I hope so. I'm trying something, and the only way you can learn from something is if you try it. And I forgot. I wanted to pop a book out. I'll bring that up later. The new book.
Okay.
But so if you want to be involved in that podcast, go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/podcast. All of the audio that we do from FroKnowsPhoto or from RAWtalk or anything goes up on that channel. I hope it doesn't bother you that there is one coming every day. Just know that before the video it says DailyFRO or Flying Solo or RAWtalk, so you can pick and choose the ones that you want. I'm trying it, so I hope it works, and I hope you like it.
Yeah.
So it's time for photo news.
Well, I did want to get into some pictures before we got into photo news.
It's not time
when I
photo
told you to write that
I
in,
didn't know
and
if
you
you had
didn't.
a plug as
Good
well.
job.
I thought you were going to plug something, bro.
And we had a plug that you missed, too.
Something changed with my notes.
Yeah, it's weird how PDFs change on you all of a sudden.
Anyway, I shot a show over the weekend. It was called WinterJawn. It's the Philly show for the radio station.
Why'd they get rid of Jam?
I think there was a name already taken, some kind of event called Winter Jam, and I think they might have gotten sued or something. I don't know what happened, but they changed the name because of legal reasons, so I heard. So I shot the show. It was Dashboard Confessional, the Struts, AJR, a bunch of other bands that played.
What is AJR?
They have that Sober Up song. They have Weakness, I think one of their songs is called. They're pretty big. More of a pop act.
Never heard
but
of them.
I actually really enjoyed them that day. But I took some pictures, obviously, throughout the show.
Who's that guy?
The first band was the Struts.
This
is the
Struts?
singer of
Why
the
were
Struts.
they the first band?
Not the first band, but I mean the first band that you're seeing on the screen right now.
Oh.
I will say that their stage performance is incredible.
Dude, look at that. They have that song.
Yeah, she's hot.
That song?
What's that song?
I forget the song titles.
Guys, in the chat, what's that song by the Struts? It's really damn good.
But they're fun, man.
Should have been me.
That song, yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
Nope.
I wanted love and war. It's actually really good.
As hard as they are to shoot, though, they are a good time. No matter what, their stage presence is incredible. They're always interacting with the crowd.
Nice composition, bro.
Yeah, the composition was pretty good. The hard part, man, is that this stage was in complete shade. You can't see it here because I'm actually shooting from the stage. Now we switch to Dashboard Confessional. This is from behind him on the
Chris Crop is
stage.
so hot from
I
behind.
wanted to show the entire crowd. There was 10,000 people, sold out crowd.
Is that cropped?
When I say sold out, I mean it was a free show, but sold out max cap.
Is that cropped?
That is not cropped, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's not. I might have straightened the horizon a hair, but it's not cropped.
Tell people what you're shooting with.
I'm shooting with the 5D Mark IV, the camera of
Worst
choice.
camera ever.
Best
Nobody
camera
likes that
ever.
The camera that Todd also owns. We
Super
both shoot
Crush.
with that. He does
Yeah.
mainly video. I do pictures for the most
Camera's
part.
solid.
Another picture of Chris Carrabba. Now, the interesting part is I had a terrible background. If you notice,
Why is he wearing a one of those fake tattoo armbands?
if you notice, there's actually a bunch of porta potties in the
I see
background.
the porta potties.
I tried to blur it out as much as possible. Shoot at 200 millimeters with my 70 to 200. Compress that background a little more, but it's still tough. Now, the biggest thing I want to show you is the next picture. The next picture is something I shot also from the back of the stage. This one I love, but I also don't love because I'm not directly centered behind him. I got the shot. This is literally like the last 5 seconds that he was on stage. Now, the only thing I didn't like about it is it's not directly centered on stage.
Well, that and the crowd does not look too enthused to see Chris Carrabba. Nobody's crying.
I don't
nobody's
think
singing.
the crowd is necessarily the biggest focus here. I think it's more him holding up the
I was just
guitar.
looking at the crowd. Nobody there looks.
I think there's a lot of smiling faces.
Was everybody singing along?
Yes.
Because Chris Carrabba shows, Dashboard Confessional shows are amazing when you go and you hear everybody whining, singing at the same time.
But what I will say, though, about the crowd is that normally if they don't like the headliner, if most of them aren't there for him, they will leave. And he was the headliner and everyone stayed. So I do think a lot of people came for Dashboard Confessional, Chris Carrabba specifically. But anyway, with this shot, the hard part is that there was a drum riser right behind him in the center and a weird-looking microphone. And I want to show you the before RAW file, too, how much processing I did on this image. It's a very flat, generic,
Should've
boring
shot
photo.
JPEG, bro.
And I brought it back as much as possible. Todd, if you want to go back to that previous slide again. And,
Yep,
that one's perfect.
Good slide, Todd. Good choice.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot of work that you could do on a RAW file and really bring it back. Make something that's kind of boring and not interesting a really great photo. I also added a lot of vignetting and tried to make it stand out a little more.
Oh, here's what you were competing with here. This shot.
Yes, this is the shot where so basically if I went directly behind him, this is all I see is a giant weird looking microphone.
that's a cluster
I
right
see
there.
the whole stage was just a mess.
Yeah.
The drum riser, everything. So it was very difficult to get directly behind him, and I literally had like 5 seconds before he held that guitar up to get right
At
behind
least you were
him.
on stage for it, man.
It's a great
Yeah,
shot, man.
I think
That's
it came
a
out
great
really
shot.
well. I'm happy with the majority of the shots. I still have to go through some of them, but yeah, that was the show.
It's amazing what you pulled out of it, though.
The before and after just kind of blows your mind.
Yeah,
You have to understand that how much processing goes into making a RAW file stand out.
that and the camera maintained the detail.
That too.
Retained the detail in the sky.
Is about 6 p.m. The sun was pretty much set at this point, and the sky was pretty much blown out. I shot at 2500 ISO too, not the base ISO, and I could still bring that detail back in the sky, which is pretty remarkable. But 5D Mark IV, I should just throw it out. It's a piece of crap.
That's what everybody says.
Yep. Anyway, that was the photos. I wanted to share some of them with the audience.
That's a solid one.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Thank you.
So that's that. Let's get to the Pluggy McPluggerson. Todd, pick a plug. Any plug. Oh! FroKnowsPhoto.com/guides. Go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/guides to check out previews, free previews of all 4 of the educational guides. Next plug, Todd? That is, shirts. Go to store.FroKnowsPhoto.com. Use the code IShootRaw at checkout to get 19% off all regularly priced shirts of $16.99. So use your discount code, get 19% off when you use. I picked that.
How do you say that discount, Steven?
Regularly
19.
Oh. Yeah, people
You
like
got the
relating my
hair now.
haircut to some historic figure.
Big figure.
Yes. 19.
You mean a famous painter?
A favorite, yes. A painter.
Infamous painter.
Yeah.
Anyway, get that off the screen, Todd. It's time for photo news. No more plugs. Steven, let's
Photo
get the
news.
photo news. Is my dad calling again?
I hope so.
I hope so.
No, but it's Dave Leno.
Oh, man.
Hello, Dave Leno. This is Jared Polin. You're live on RAWtalk if you would like to speak.
Jared, what's going on RAWtalk? Dave Leno reporting live from I-95, where it's a sunny
Reporting live.
27 degrees in the Delaware Valley. Couple days eve of Super Bowl 52, where the Patriots will go up against the underdog, Philadelphia Eagles.
Can we have him call it every week?
Is this a weather? What's the weather report for the Super Bowl?
Let's go to Dave
on
for the
Sunday?
weather.
Weather report in Minneapolis is a very dreary 9 degrees. Snow is likely probable at 75%, but keep in mind, U.S. Bank Stadium,
I love Dave.
a brand new stadium, a $1 billion venue, is indoor. The roof will
Hold that
not
up, please.
collapse like the Metrodome did years back. Everybody should be safe. It should be a rocket Super Bowl for the fans,
Rockin'
tourists,
Super Bowl.
and visitors in M-Town.
Okay, Dave. Is there anything I can help you with?
M-Town.
I want to tell you and your RAWtalk people, I was just in South Philly. I heard Betty's place is closing in 6 weeks. I want to meet you down there sometime because I want to try the pie before he closes. I don't know how true that is, but I heard he's closing.
April 1st will be the last day of Bedia as we know it until he opens up his new restaurant, which will be down the street. But I can fill you in on that later.
Thank you very much, because I could really go for a plain pie. And Joe, if you're listening, I hear your pizza's the best, and I really
This is
want
great.
that slice.
All right,
It would really make me feel good before my next broadcast.
You got to give him the.
Dave, can you send us back into photo news and we'll go?
Dave Leno from I-95. Let's go back to photo news with FroKnowsPhoto and the crew.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye, Dave. Oh, man.
that was
I need a breather
amazing.
From
that was incredible.
I guess we need to have.
We need to have an actual direct call line hooked up.
I would
He
love
can
him to
literally
call in and put him up on the screen.
on location.
That would be. We could with the Google Voice number.
funny, man.
Actually, we could give him the box. He could log in if he's got Chrome. He could call in right on the screen and give us a weekly report or read negative comments.
He's great, man. Dave Leno.
Oh, I would love him to read negative.
What do the
comments.
commenters say? Did they enjoy that, Todd, or did they?
Could they hear it? Could they hear it?
LOL.
Absolutely. Dan gave me the thumbs up.
Good. It was a little long, but I was waiting for him to finish.
Yeah, but it
It's like you got to give the wrap-up signal, Jared.
I wanted him to throw it back to photo news.
Yeah.
He's a pro. He's a pro.
That
He is a
interruption
pro.
was brought to you by Dave Leno.
If you guys don't know who Dave Leno is, by the way, he was with us on the A9 review. What other reviews was he with us?
He's also in the guide to shooting video.
Oh, he is.
the
He's
guide to
he's the
shooting
bowler.
video.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, can we get into news, damn it?
All right, photo news. Canon is taking a note from Apple's TouchID system and possibly developing their own fingerprint scanning technology. A new patent published this month by the camera company describes an electronic apparatus having a finger authentication function.
Can I read the patent? It says, see here, you got your thumb, and if you put it onto the sensor, then what happens is, we haven't figured it out yet.
So the illustrations that follow show a possible fingerprint reader on both the lens and the camera body that would unlock your camera for only the owner, preventing theft and resale.
No, my Gear Vault already does that.
Oh, yeah, my Gear Vault as well. You do both. So the patent also suggests that the fingerprint tech could be used for multiple configurations from different users. This is what I like. So if we handed the camera to, say, you, it would switch to RAW. If we handed it to someone like Ken Rockwell, it would switch to, like, JPEG Basic. And you could literally just touch it, and it switches settings to your configuration.
Oh, so that's how it works?
Well, that's what they say. It could work theoretically like that.
Well, then...
I thought that was really unique.
It's kind of like a quick button that if you... Yeah, I guess.
Because to me, there's a lot of times where I hand a camera off to you and you shoot different than I shoot, or there's different settings that I use.
Pretty much the same.
Similar, but if I have it set for video, for example, and I give it to you, and then the photo settings are set, you can literally touch your fingerprint and boom, everything's set to RAW.
I'm just laughing at Dave calling. Live here on I-95, where the weather is 27 degrees.
Now, as usual, we'll take this patent news with a grain of salt. The idea is there, but that's all it really is right now. It's just an idea. The question is, what happens when you're shooting like in the cold, if you have gloves on, or if, say, you have like an underwater housing? Like, when will it work then?
I don't know why you would use
Should it have like a retina scanner in the viewfinder?
Should have like a DNA scanner.
Because that would be cool.
So first off, did you know that a Canon camera once did have IAF, not what Sony has?
Yeah.
But it would move the focus
to
point.
your retina, right?
It would watch your eye, and where you were looking is where it would focus. Now, that would not work for me because my eye's always moving, and it would just be like, will you stop moving, you stupid eyeball
Front focus,
guy?
back focus,
Please
front
stand
focus,
still.
back focus.
Please stand still.
Now, my issue is I'll lock focus, then I'll check the edge of the frame, see how my composition is, and then shoot from there.
It was just
so
a
it would screw
stupid
me up.
idea.
Yeah. I do like the configuration option, though. I do shoot a lot differently than most people, I feel like. So having that quick, boom,
You mean out of focus?
switch to mine.
How often do we actually hand the camera to somebody else?
It's rare, but you never know. It's good to have.
It's medium, yeah.
We'll see if this actually comes to life, though, this patent.
I'm going to say no.
Probably not. Reuters has been officially banned from the Winter Olympics opening ceremony in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
Pyeongchang.
Gesundheit.
Hopefully that's how you pronounce it.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Nope.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum. That's the
Remember the new and improved RAWtalk
Isn't
where
that
we're
the
supposed
Olympic-
to cut singing?
No, isn't that the Olympic theme?
Yeah, I thought we were getting rid of the dumb stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Steven just said probably that's the Olympic theme.
Yonhap News reports that Reuters accidentally leaked photos of the rehearsal, which feature the Olympic cauldron lit up at night last week. Now, there are strict media embargoes that prevent this type of coverage before the games officially start, since the lighting of the cauldron has always made its public debut during the actual opening ceremony.
Kim Jong-un will be flying in from North Korea to light the cauldron with one of his nuclear ballistic missiles.
Oh, jeez. Reuters did, however, take the photos down immediately after both the International Olympic Committee, which is the IOC, and Pyeongchang Organizing Committee protested the publishing of the images.
And that sounded like this. We protest the publishing of these images.
Now, the IOC then disapproved the issuing of passes towards Reuters in reporting and photographing the opening ceremony, and revoked the photographer who took the photos of their media credentials for the entire Winter Olympics, which really sucks.
So my question is...
Not just the opening ceremony,
well, my
but all
question
the
is,
games.
In this case, was it the photographer who released it, or was it an editor?
I think it was a combination of both.
All right, because that's... Well, one, he shouldn't have submitted it until after.
Yep.
Well, no, I mean, yeah.
I bet you he submitted it, and the editor was like, oh, I guess we'll do that. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a strict embargo, you aren't supposed to break embargoes.
Yep. So this is the actual image, but we blurred it out because it is very hard to find on the internet. They obviously don't want it shown, so we don't really want to leak it ourselves as well.
Because we don't want to be banned by the
It's actually a picture of
Pyeongchang-
me sitting at home with my purple my purple robe on. So
Yeah, that's actually Todd. Or actually, those are the lights at Morimoto.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the IOC went on to say they will enforce strong penalties on media companies and their reporters who disobey embargoes of the opening and closing ceremonies as requested by the IOC and the organizing committee. And they literally removed almost every image from the internet. The only one I could find is actually in the Petapixel comment thread on this article. It's removed everywhere else, though, because I tried Googling, I tried searching, I've tried everything. Dan did as well.
Can I talk about the Olympics real fast?
Sure.
I think the IOC is, in my opinion, one of the most corrupt behind FIFA, who already got slammed for corruption. How can you put the Olympics in Russia, in a place like the Sochi Olympics were not even in a place that was wintry? It was in a tropical environment, not so much tropical, but it wasn't freaking cold. How much money are they being paid off with to bring? Nobody wants the Olympics.
Yeah.
Nobody, like Philadelphia doesn't want the Olympics because they're like, well, we don't want to pay any taxes, so you have to foot the bill, but nobody makes money. Like the cities don't make money off of the Olympics.
If anything, they go bankrupt off the Olympics.
That's why you see these Olympics being in other countries that have third world countries where they just steal the money and do whatever they want with it.
I just feel like who watches the Winter Olympics still? I personally never tune in.
Dan, cut to your angle and raise your hand.
Dan does. My wife does. She gets super excited about anything related to the Olympics. Yeah.
My brother loves watching the Olympics. I
never watch it, but then again, I'm also not really a sports fan, so maybe that's why.
I like speed skating and short track.
Okay.
So short track speed skating is in a hockey rink where they freaking motor around the rink super fast with their speed skates.
Is that the one where they're like leaning forward and just going round and round and round?
Yeah, but super fast because they're really tight and they have the long ass blades. But I like the long one. I just don't want to watch the 1,500 meter. I'll watch the one time around sprint, and I just love how the clap skates just make that noise on the ice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And skiing's always pretty cool, watching them do Mowgli's and stuff.
I do like seeing those, yeah.
I have no interest in watching cross-country skiing into shooting a gun, like, who came up with the fact that...
if they shoot the gun at the cross-country skiers, that would be way more interesting.
Well, that's if it was in North Korea, Todd. Then they would have that in North Korea.
Right.
Do you think Kim Jong-un is going to boycott our show now?
I hope.
No.
I think he's still commenting, right, Todd?
He actually commented he wants hashtag Free Todd soundboard.
And he wants Steven's haircut?
He already has
I think he already has that haircut.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have your haircut. He has the weirdest haircut ever.
He does have a little bit of a weird haircut. Kodak says more than 40,000 potential investors are interested in the recently announced KodakCoin ICO, the initial coin offering.
Yeah, anybody see what Bitcoin did today?
No.
Todd, sound effect?
Wait.
Exactly.
Wait.
Bitcoin has bit the dust today, and I know all those crypto people are like, "Well, it's okay. I invested early. I didn't sell at 20,000.
Yeah,
I didn't sell at 20,000, but it's okay because I'm still doing good."
I still don't fully understand it personally. I really don't.
It's a very difficult thing to understand because it's hard to get your money out. You get your money in. How do you get it out? How much can you remove
what I don't
at one
understand
time?
is how do you get it out?
You have to sell it on the Bitcoin exchange. You have to be able to get, and then hopefully the Bitcoin exchange where you have your money stored in your wallet doesn't get hacked and all your money and all your Bitcoins get stolen.
You got to make sure it doesn't like rub up against your condoms too much because that'll wear it out.
Can somebody hit the mute button on that guy?
So they're beginning an accredited investor phase for the cryptocurrency that will verify the status.
Listen to this BS,
of
guys.
the potential investors, which could take several weeks, they say. And if you want to become an investor, they'll have to verify that you need to have a net worth greater than $1 million as an individual or together as a couple, or you'll be required to have a minimum 2-year history of income exceeding $200,000 a year or $300,000 a year per couple.
That's
what are you looking for, money?
Don't touch it. That's mine.
There's no money in here.
Oh, because the brick guys, when they were here, they found that fake $100 motion picture money, and they thought it was real, and they're like, "Do you want this back? It was on the floor." And I'm like, "It's fake." And they're like, "No,
that's an honest."
I showed them everything.
Just paid them.
That's
You
what
should have been like, "You guys take cash, right?"
I'm like,
Exactly.
But they had to take a hard look at it front and back to see if it was fake or not.
wow, that's really.
And I showed them, and I moved all the money.
On
that's
camera,
probably why.
it definitely looks real.
It looks really real on camera.
That's really nice to know that they actually picked it up and said, "Hey, did you?"
Yeah.
I
said that's very honest.
That's
and is
really
this your
good.
Kodak coin? You want this back because we don't accept that.
So yeah, a net worth greater than $1 million per individual or couple together, or a 2-year history of income exceeding $200,000 a year per person.
Can you say Ponzi scheme? Can you say fraud? Can you? all in my opinion, this is bullshit.
Caca.
Seems like they're getting pretty serious about this Kodak coin.
This is bullshit. This isn't going to happen. 40,000 people that are interested, yeah, they would be interested if, hey, like, can I invest in, can I put $100 into this? Because people would put $100 into it just to see if it did something. But to say that you need to have $1 million in net worth to be even considered for this bullshit.
Caca.
Go away. It has nothing to do with Kodak either. All they did was license the Kodak name. Now they're dragging it through the mud. George Eastman right now is saying nothing because he's dead.
It was a cryptocurrency brand that kind of bought out Kodak, right?
Yeah, but
now they're going under the
No,
Kodak.
they didn't buy out Kodak.
But that's basically what Kodak is now.
No, they bought a license to use the name.
That's what I mean.
They bought the license. They didn't buy Kodak.
But I mean, the name is under Kodak, is what I'm saying.
The name that they licensed the name Kodak, like Polaroid.
Yes.
So the next thing you're going to see is a Polaroid coin because somebody's going to license the Polaroid name and put it on the coin.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I mean, I think the
You wanna
Kodak we
hear
used to know is
stupid?
officially
The guy at the corner
dead
store
now.
the other day told me he bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. What did I think? I was like, I don't know. I was like, first I'm thinking like, why do you think you want to ask me about Bitcoin? Because do I look that smart? Do I look like savvy?
Well, what you don't know is that in the internet marketing world right now, there is a gold rush of people making a ton of money off of selling people how to mine Bitcoins and how to ride the market. It's bullshit.
That's another thing I still don't understand, the mining of the Bitcoin.
Oh, well, that's done in like China.
I prefer to put all my money into the silver dollars that are on late night television. I have about $1 million worth of those.
My dad actually has some gold proofs sets, which are worth money. What's when back in the 80s you buy gold proof sets.
Okay.
And then, so it's like for coins from 1981.
Is that like the little sealed coins?
It's the sealed coin
Yeah.
thing, and there's the silver proof set.
my
and there's
dad
the
has
gold,
some too.
The gold ones are worth a shit ton because gold's worth a lot. Todd has raised his hand.
Well, people are asking for a Fro coin, so that's out there now.
Well, first,
I
so
see
this is how
multiple
you-
hashtag FroCoin.
All right, this is how you get in on the Fro coin. You go into Super Chat right now, and you throw in there $500. $500 gets you invested heavily in the Fro coin.
You know what's crazy? It's funny you mention that because if you put in $1,000, there's a Todd coin as well.
And $2,000, there's a Steven coin.
Holy cow.
Crazy.
It slips right out of your fingers, though, because it's so wet.
Yours is so old, though, it just cripples in your hand.
I hate
apart.
you!
Then we've got Fuji. They have unveiled their latest APS-C shooter, the XA5. The new mirrorless camera weighs in at just under 5 ounces. Super
Sweet
lightweight.
viewfinder, bro.
Sweet viewfinder. It makes it the lightest X-series camera in their lineup. The XA5 will sport a 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor with a max native ISO of 12,800 and a new processor that's about 1.5 times faster, they say. Now, they claim it also has a nice bump in AF speed, locking in on subjects at twice the speed now with its new phase detection hybrid AF system. And video-wise, it gets really weird. It does shoot 4K, but only at 15 frames a second.
That's going to be sweet.
Oh, I mean, that's what I've been looking for, to be honest. I'm throwing out my Mark IV now.
Well, Todd, and it's limited to 5 minutes of record time if you're doing 4K.
So I can go back and start FroKnowsPhoto with Jared.
Exactly.
And do 5-minute
5
clips.
minutes, yep. And it also can do 1080p at up to 60 frames per second, so
Is
you
it
do have that
interchangeable?
option. It is interchangeable, yes. It has a 3-inch tilting touchscreen that can tilt about 180 degrees for selfie mode. It's very much like the Canon M5. And now it comes equipped with a new mic jack that would make it kind of a nice vlogging camera, being the weight is light, you have the mic jack, and you have the flip-out screen, and APS-C sensor, of course. It'll hit shelves next week for about $600, which comes bundled with their new XC 15 to 45 millimeter f3.5 to 5.6 lens at that price. I mean, is it a good vlogging camera?
No.
4K at 15 frames a second?
No.
I feel like GoPro had those specs years ago. I mean, this is 2018.
Right. The quality would still be better in the Fuji because of the bigger sensor.
And the Fuji simulation modes, too, are really cool in terms of just stills.
yeah.
I prefer the score when they put that album out. I prefer that.
The Fujis.
I didn't. Oh, Fuji's. Okay. Sorry. I was lost in a moment right there. People are like, why are you never talking about Fuji? Fuji's cool, great, it's awesome. Boxy camera, cool. We shot a real world review with that XT2. fun little camera to shoot.
I feel like I've seen comments a lot, especially lately, that people have been requesting to review that camera, which we already did.
Then we failed in letting them know that.
We do have that review out. I mean, now it's got over 100,000 views.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that one was great. That was the one we shot in the boxing ring.
The boxing gym.
Yep. More of a 5-minute portrait type review, but
Yeah, hold on, Todd.
it's fun to watch.
Well, I would like to see a full frame one. I know they skipped full frame and went to the biggest of the big.
Fuji doesn't have full frame,
They don't
right?
have
It
full
just
frame,
goes
but
the
they've got the medium format.
medium format and micro four
I'm
thirds
not,
and
I
APS-C.
enjoyed the lenses that I used on them. I just, whatever. Todd?
Currently trending, #DanLivesMatter. No idea why. No idea why.
Let's switch to Dan real fast. And
Yeah.
get Dan's take on that, except he's forgetting to
Yeah.
switch his...
Seriously, he's so into it. What do you think, Dan? So what do you think? You know what's funny? You don't have a microphone,
Dan, you
so
can mine
shut
it.
up.
Oh, he's got a board. He's got a whiteboard.
Oh, here we go.
Just take your time, Dan.
And cut to something else.
Don't
Just
make
take
it...
your time.
What's it say?
I can't read it.
All right, Dan, let's go.
What does it say?
Save me, feed me, help me.
What does it say?
Hashtag...
I matter.
Okay. That's so
Whatever.
insensitive in
I
this day
forgot
and age.
Dan has that board. He grabbed that right before the show.
So insensitive
call.
of you.
Seriously.
Anyway, back to more news.
I do want to mention, too, that Fujifilm bought majority ownership of Xerox in a new deal worth $6.1 billion, making Fujifilm an $18 billion company now,
Yeah?
which is pretty remarkable.
So what do they buy? What, they get Fuji copiers now?
Something like that, yeah.
What do they think that technology is going to help them in
Well,
the
I wonder
camera
if,
game?
yeah, is that what they're going to do? Are they going to have now a bunch of Fujifilm copiers and
How do you they're buying Xerox?
Xerox.
Like-
well, majority stake
In
ownership.
Xerox.
Xerox,
Like
the company.
actual Xerox.
Actual Xerox.
The ones that make the Xerox machine.
Yes.
Do you know what I used to love doing back in elementary school?
What?
No.
We're
what?
going way back. You
Not
know the
paying attention?
mimeograph,
No.
Todd?
Todd would know.
No.
The purple ink.
We had the chisel with the rock.
You know what, remember the purple? You would
You
get
beat
the
me to it.
You would get the page, and it would have the purple printing because that was the mimeograph. It smelled so amazing.
Late.
I used to just sniff the paper.
Was this before like Scantrons and stuff like that? Is what you're saying?
No,
or-
I'm not talking about Scantrons. I'm talking about instead of a copy machine, it was a mimeograph.
I don't know.
And the mimeograph was a type of copier, but it had a different type of ink, and it smelled like chocolate when I would sniff it. This is like first grade, second grade. I was
Sniff
that kid.
test?
So you used to lick the mimeograph.
I would not lick it.
That's
I would
what's wrong
sniff
with
it.
you.
Did you
and I
sniff
would-
glue too?
I never sniffed the glue. I never ate the glue. My name's not Ralph.
You just ate the boogers.
No, I didn't do that
You
either.
eat paint chips as a kid?
Yes, you did.
I didn't eat paint chips either.
And then last
I
and
know
final
of.
story, Adobe says another major speed improvement is coming to Lightroom. This marks the millionth time that they've promised this, although they seem pretty serious this time around. The company teamed up with Intel for their upcoming Classic CC 7.2 update. They claim they worked on key performance issues that will utilize CPU and RAM more efficiently, and now specifically improving import and preview generation, walking of images in loop view, rendering times in the develop module, batch and merge HDR and panorama operations, and export times. They ran some of their own tests on the latest 10-core iMac Pro and heavy-duty machines, Windows machines, and reported that Lightroom Classic ran 44% faster on the Mac and nearly 65% faster on the Windows computer after exporting 100 heavily edited RAW files as DNGs.
But if you shoot JPEG, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
No, they actually had like a 29% increase in exporting JPEGs as well.
No, man, if you just shoot JPEG, you don't have to worry about it.
It's not just about export times either. They note that Lightroom will not slow down over the course of a long editing session, particularly
Like
on
Todd.
Windows machines. Now, this won't work for everyone. The upcoming update will be geared toward multi-core machines with large amounts of memory. Yes, you'll need to have at least 12 gigs of RAM to see any benefits. So basically, your beefed-out computer will finally work the way it should with Lightroom, especially our new iMac Pro that we're going to be getting. Get out of here. Now, DP Review did
Our iMac Pro has officially shipped from China,
China.
Shanghai.
Gina.
It's on its way. It's
Tuesday?
due here. I'm not telling anybody the day. Could be Thursday. Don't want them hanging out waiting for it.
Oh,
Steven.
Now, DP Review took to their own testing on a low-end 2-core computer and found a performance gain of just like 11%. Still better, but not great.
What's a 2-core computer? My phone?
A dual-core. They also tested out a 2015 quad-core MacBook Pro, which is pretty much what I have, and found similar results when exporting. I think it was like 12% faster. Now, however, the export times drastically changed, taking 245 seconds in Lightroom 7.1 and only 50 seconds in the new update, which is great. Now, Adobe says the update is simply coming soon and that they are far from done. They say, and I quote, "We have more performance optimizations and improvements planned, and customers will see those in future releases."
Yeah, man.
I will say, ever since they changed to the latest Lightroom CC Classic, the 5D Mark IV and the D850 files just crawl when I'm importing them. Because now it does that double, like, build the preview and import the pictures at the same time. You might be able to, but
because I never build
it just
previews.
takes forever.
I don't build full res previews.
I thought you do 1-to-1.
I only do 1-to-1 of the starred ones that I go through.
Oh, I still build 1-to-1.
Unless it's so slow and
But I've never had
jerky.
that issue before. It's always still been pretty fast.
Yeah, so I'm...
No soundboard, Todd.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it works on the new iMac Pro.
I just can't wait till they actually
Premiere?
Yeah.
Do it in
Premiere now
Premiere.
gets an update, and we'll utilize that 14-core machine that we have, not just max out at 10 cores, and it'll be able to scatter throughout the cores and work well.
Yeah,
More efficiently.
video will probably be the first thing that utilizes that many cores.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
Hopefully.
It's going to be cool.
So yeah, new Lightroom update coming soon, 7.2, and it'll be much, much faster. And that's it for Photo News this week.
This Photo News Fix has been brought to you by nobody. Don't hit a button, Todd, because we don't have sponsors for this stuff.
Dang it.
Currently. Yet. Maybe would you like to sponsor with a super chat? No, I'm just joshing you there. So that's the end of Photo News.
Yes.
What's next?
Gear of the week.
Gears of the week. I've got a
Is
book
it
of the
gears?
week and gear of the week.
Plural. Okay.
Let's start
All
with
right.
the book. I'll start with the book. Oh. This is Crushing It.
Crushing it.
This is from Gary Vaynerchuk.
FroKnowsPhoto.
Yeah, that's true. If you turn to page 184 right now, not 187, though I do populate 187 also, you will see a little vignette on me on how I crushed it, or am crushing it.
Hashtag crushed it.
Yeah. It says,
Hashtag crush edit.
anyway, I'm reading the book. I'm that far through. I will be doing
Getting
a
there.
review. I just want to make sure that I read it first.
No spoilers, but does he crush it?
It's got lots of vignettes about a lot of people.
Is
and
that
it's pretty cool hearing it?
Basically,
Are they all
what it is
crushing it?
Well, no,
vignettes?
there's vignettes spread out throughout the book, and then that triggers other points that he wants to make, and
Okay.
then there's actionable items broken down for each different, like YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Musical.ly, different things to try. So if you watch Gary's videos, there's a lot of information there too. This compiles some of that into more easily obtainable type of thing. But yeah.
You enjoy it so far?
So far, yeah, I'm liking it. If you've been looking for somebody to kick you in the butt and get some motivation, it's not one of those motivational reads. It's not meant to be that,
Yeah.
but it should do that and help you understand that, yeah, people started with nothing and did work their way somewhere.
So what does he have? He has Crush It.
Crush It.
Does he have Crushed It?
No, that's the last book he'll ever do.
So he has Crush It, Crushing It, and then he'll do Crushed It.
Right. He did.
I can't
Keep
wait
on
till
crushing.
that book comes out.
He did jab, 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 right hook.
You like that one a lot. I remember that.
He did the Thank You Economy,
Okay.
and he did Crush It. This is his 5th book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Does he drink Orange Crush? That would make sense.
Next up is more Gears of the Week from the peoples at PolarPro.
Ooh.
They reached out and said, hey, you want some stuff for your drones?
I can't wait.
We could have used this a while ago when
Yes.
the DJI Mavic landing gear.
I didn't know they make their own PolarPro.
I didn't know they made it either,
Yeah.
but PolarPro does.
Because you have what? Just some Amazon brand that you got it from?
$8 on Amazon.
Perfect.
Mavic remote phone mount. Didn't know that either.
That's cool.
Then there was this, which would have come in handy, the Mavic gimbal lock, which they ship it with a piece of plastic that they do not tell you should stay on when you're moving, when you're traveling. They
Well,
just
we
don't.
learned the hard way and basically broke the gimbal in the backpack.
Twice. Mavic
Twice.
fixed it. I mean, DJI fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it. Yep.
But
They should have had this though from the get-go. They
That-
should have sent out the drones with this and
it did
specifically
come
told
with a
you.
plastic thing.
But the new one that
right.
you have.
And it maybe they should build in a freaking lock switch that locks it down.
Yep. So it's not shaking the entire time.
So what they're mostly known for are their circular polarizers. Sorry, ND polarizers, filter pack. This is a cinema series for the DJI Mavic.
So we have some of theirs for the Pro 4, the Phantom 4 Pro.
Yep.
But we don't. No, actually, no. Just the Phantom 4.
Well, here's Phantom 4 Pro one.
The Phantom 4 Pro is a little bigger because they switched to that 1-inch sensor. So the lens diameter is a little bigger. So we got them. We got for the Mavic Air, I think, and also for just the regular one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Air's not out yet, so they didn't give us those. But if you're looking for filters, so the point of using an ND filter on a drone is that when you see that herky-jerky effect when you're watching footage and it looks like it's herky-jerky?
It's not, yeah, I mean, it's more that like crunchy look that you're seeing, that high shutter speed look. It's just...
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's like when it's moving and everything looks like it's
it looks like it's over-sharpened as well. I think it doesn't give that smooth motion blur that you're looking for. Yeah, very herky-jerky. So now instead of shooting at 1/2000th of a second on a sunny day, I can shoot at properly like 1/50th or 1/100th, whatever it may be.
Which then gives you a better opportunity to get smoother footage.
Yep.
Todd is raising his hand.
Todd.
Igor Bobar. 5 pounds. Hashtag lunch money. Hashtag FroKoin.
That's heavy,
hashtag why only 500 watching.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Thank you. I
That is
didn't
pretty
know how
good.
many people are watching.
Yeah.
That's we don't really heavily push the fact that it's live. I don't
should.
send out an email about it every week, but
Yeah.
500 live is pretty good. We hope you guys that are listening at home who aren't tuning in can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Friday. We understand that you can't put a time out that would be great for everybody because this is a global audience.
It's tough.
The funny thing is we had like 500 people watching way back in the FroKnowsPhoto show days, way back when we did that at Greg's studio.
Wow.
Way back in
What
the
was that,
day
like
on
2011?
In
Something like that?
2011 or maybe 2010, we did 8 episodes of it. Every Sunday, we would go in at noon, I think, using an XHA1 camcorder
I hated
through
that
FireWire.
Canon camcorder.
Through FireWire, looked so flat, plugged into the Mac
Nice
computer.
640 by 480 signal that you're getting.
Went to live stream.
Yeah.
And we did segments like news. Greg did news. I commented about it.
I mean,
Gizzy used to throw
Early
stuff.
version of RAWtalk, essentially.
It was with one camera, but lots of people were watching on live stream.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was live stream?
You
I
mean
thought it was-
Ustream? Was it called live stream?
Ustream?
Yeah, I thought it was something else.
Probably
yeah.
Ustream. Live
Yeah, I
stream
think
is
it
the
was
box we
Ustream.
use now.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
maybe it
think
was Ustream. But yeah, there was no other way to do it. But shit, we were doing that super early.
Yeah, that is really
Should have stuck with it. Should have stuck with it.
Yeah. But now we got RAWtalk.
Yeah. So that's why. And that's photo news?
That's
No,
photo news,
That's Gear of the
man.
Week.
That's Gear of the Week, yeah.
Yeah, now's the time to start getting your questions into the chat because we've come up to Fly, Eagles,
Fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch those Eagles fly. Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the
Road to victory.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Go Eagles, go Birds.
Well, this
Super
is
Bowl
we're in
Sunday.
Philly. It's Super Bowl
Finally.
Sunday at my house.
Oh, yeah.
It's
apparently,
officially at my-
apparently Jared's having a party. Everyone come.
Oh, that's the new flying solo fight song.
Yeah.
Flying
It is a bird, right?
solo.
It's got wings.
No, and Ed Bassmaster is going to make an appearance on Tuesday at the factory.
Yes, can't wait. Another Philly guy.
Yes.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Oh, will you look at that? Will you look at that?
I like mumbles.
Will you look at that?
Yeah.
It's a dog. Will you look at that?
And he has a guy Skippy with
Will
the
you
thick
look
glasses.
at that? Will you look at that, Stephen?
Just look at it.
Just look at that.
You
Okay, guys, flying solo.
Well, first question I have is from Carlos Cerna. Question, love the new format. That's not a question. But thoughts on the GH5? Are you going to be doing a video about it?
Does he mean the GH5S?
He does say the GH5S. I thought he meant plural GH5s.
No.
That's the I was invited to the GH5S event in New York on Thursday.
week?
Thursday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday. I didn't go because I don't like those setup events where you can't use the camera.
It's also different because you're more of a stills guy. This is a video-centric camera. It does stills, obviously, too, but it's really meant for video.
We borrowed, we had a GH5. We tested it
still
down
have
at
it.
Photo News Fix
in the other
at
room.
Brian's that time when he brought it in.
And we have one here.
And they sent us one, which we have to send back. The Photo News Fix that we ended up with D850s for the 4K, full frame 4K.
The biggest difference for us is that we only have so much room and we want some depth, some background blur, so we have to use like a 2.8 lens or something. And just that full frame sensor is going to give you so much more of a cinematic look for what we're doing here.
Yes.
Now, obviously, the Micro Four Thirds sensor still works great with the 4K.
And I guarantee you we would be able to crushing it with it if we needed to.
The biggest thing with the GH5S that I don't personally like is they got rid of the IBIS, the in-body stabilization. Hopefully that grid doesn't fall again.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. It popped. Our lighting grid, by the way, on our Kino flows here, the grid has been falling off. The Velcro hasn't been holding, so hopefully it doesn't fall off during the show. But yeah, the GH5S, I think with getting rid of the IBIS, I personally wouldn't like using it, but for locked off shots, it's perfect.
Did Dan just switch to himself?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, what else do we have, Todd?
Well, Chris Reichart sent us 2 duelists from Canada.
Thank you for $2 Canadian. That's $1.72.
He has a simple question. Would you shave the fro?
Now?
In general,
Right
I think.
now. This very second.
At some point, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
One day.
Someday?
So is that one day after FroKnowsPhoto or during FroKnowsPhoto?
I don't know. Let's sell my Gear Vault for like $100 million, and then I'll consider it. This segment brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. They've given me $1 million and said, shave your hair. And I said, thank you. My bank account routing number is this.
It's like Modest Yahoo shaving off his beard, man.
Yeah, but
It's weird.
just did it one day and didn't. He just did it one day.
I think that's what you have to do, though. You can't announce it. You just do it.
One day.
There's no way Jared wouldn't do it without putting it on video.
Oh, he would certainly put it on for sure.
Did you like that one day? That was I didn't
was a
mean
good
that. He
segue.
did
That
it
was
one
good.
day.
Yeah,
that was good.
I'll give you that.
Another question from Colton Newkirk.
Colton Newkirk called into
threw
photo.
us $10.
Colton Newkirk, I'm pretty sure. Ask him. Did you call into the DailyFRO? You called into my number 267-454-6FRO.
His question is: will Alan still do a fro price for used gear or online?
Yeah, call him. Call him. Ask for the Fro price. I was at Alan's this morning.
You were?
I'm going to tell you why I was at Alan's this morning.
On the
next
DailyFRO.
DailyFRO. Tonight.
Tune in tonight.
When I decide to put it up. It's really cool.
Randomly.
Well, no, I put it up between like 9 at night and midnight because that's when I film it.
Yeah.
And then I put it right up.
I always check Spotify, and I hate that it just takes forever to...
Spotify's stupid. I love Spotify.
They must have to check it or verify it. I don't know why it takes so long to go on Spotify.
But it's on iTunes and it's on Google Play almost right away.
Would you ever do a video-related one, like a video podcast, kind of like RAWtalk, or would it just always be audio only?
Well, actually, the other day I did it live on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
So I sat my phone there. People could listen while I did it, and I think that was pretty cool. I didn't do it last night because I was really tired. It was already 11:30, but I'm going to do that more often now that I have... Hold on.
You have it with you? The Joby thing?
Wait, hold on.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait
It's not Gear of the Week, but I built a kit right here. This kit has in here...
Jared organized. That's weird.
It's got the new Joby monopody thing with, and then it's got the one with the multiple arms that looks like a person.
It's like
So
this.
it's for holding the phone, and then also I put in here a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus with the SC7 cable and my iPhone adapter, so that I can use so I can have great audio.
you
with
can use
my
it
phone.
on your phone.
Yeah, great. So when I'm traveling, if I don't have the NT USB that I've been using from Rode, I can use this Rode microphone.
Yeah, guys.
Using the Joby stuff, man, I love what it did. It's exactly what I needed that I didn't have the night before.
And if you guys do want to use your Rode microphones on a phone, you can get that SC7 cable.
It's $15 at B&H
yeah.
with free shipping.
TRS to TRS cable. It's great.
That Joby stuff is solid, too, because
Yeah.
we beat the heck out of it when we went to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
The suction cups at the Grand Canyon did not, when it was on the roof, when we went over that
Narrow.
That
very
narrow bridge thing.
I thought we were going to fall off the canyon, man.
Yeah,
It
that was amazing.
freaky.
If you haven't watched that Grand Canyon episode, everybody should watch that.
What else we got, Todd?
FroKnowsPhoto.com/show.
Oh, there you go. Triangle Communications has a question. What are your predictions for the Canon 90D?
Oh.
I think they're going to fix everything they messed up in the 5D4 on a smaller scale and put that in an APS-C. The crop. I think they're finally going to bring 4K video to a APS-C camera.
Okay.
I think they're going to make it more video-centric since the 70D, 80D, that line has always been the more video-related camera.
Has a possibility of being a vloggy camera.
I think they're going to incorporate some kind of silent shutter feature because of the mirrorless cameras so big these days. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, but I think they're going to definitely fix the 4K. That's the biggest thing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Richard Harden threw us $5 for lunch.
Thank
he
you.
has no sound effects. Do you have any tips on shooting video of a live music show at a bar with a D7000 and 50mm 1.8?
Yeah, monopod. Get on one of those bendy one of those monopods with the feet on it so that you could get it more stable. I think you could still do a good job with it in terms of focus. You're going to have to manually focus it, but seriously, in a shitty bar with shitty light, I still think it can handle it. It's about how you edit that story together.
Yeah,
that's my tips is get one of those monopody things so that you can have it stable, and then you can tilt and pan and move with it, or have a bally head on top of it, and then you can just manually focus that 1.8. Get the wider shots, then move in, get the tight shots of the people playing, get some feet, get some finger strumming, get some of the crowd if there is, get some of the wires. Just like think about the story. Build the story in your mind before you get out there so that you have a shot list inside your head. This is all coming from Steven, Dan, and Todd when they tell me about making my vlog.
I know Jared's definitely talking as if he's got like all this experience.
Yeah. That's FroKnowsPhoto for you. That's what we do here.
The only thing I would add to that, Jared, all that sound, is definitely try to make sure that you stop and start your recording in between songs.
Yeah.
For sure, so you just don't miss anything.
And that 1.8 is going to be, if you're shooting at 1.8 to rack focus, is going to be very tough.
That's super tough.
Super tough, yeah.
That's what I said, Todd.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Are you lacking questions?
I can't read that. That's another language. Here's a good question from Ron Bryam. He asked, "What's your story?"
It's been a while since we had that.
Yeah.
So we will be adding back Wheel of Fro at some point.
Yeah.
We just have to get to the work to do it so we can film the wheel and get the prizes back up on there.
Because the pain in the ass is trying to actually move, like we did before, have the wheel behind us. We can't just simply move the TV. It's kind of stuck there. So we're going to pre-film a lot of that stuff.
Now that Dan's sitting there, technically you could go right behind him as he's pointing.
Could. That's true.
No,
we could.
I'd like to
now
do
that we have that
as
extra camera.
The least amount possible with Dan.
Well, that's true because it
Because
would
you give
hit
him,
Todd's
I'm telling
camera,
you,
hit
Jared,
Steve-
you give him a little bit,
And
he
he takes
never
it all.
stops.
He's going to be like,
However, I'm shocked today he's barely cut to that wide angle. He's barely done it. I think because we
Well,
haven't
I mean,
switched
you
with the
know.
two-shot as well.
that, and he took his pants off. So
Well,
And
that's
he's
a
naked right
regular
now.
occurrence. But you can't even look in Dan's direction sometimes, or you're in for a 15-minute conversation.
So true. So true. Any more questions, Todd, or should we wrap it up?
Yeah, Flower City Bread wants to know where's Jared's watch.
that's a good question.
Yeah,
It's been about
that is a good
2.5 to 3 months since I've actually put it on. I'd rather have Alexa tell me the time, but I just haven't had my watch. I don't.
Can I say something real quick?
I don't care.
Alexa, do you fart?
Is that what Alexa did?
When you ask Alexa if they fart,
Oh.
it literally makes like a
Yeah, we
sound.
have to plug ours back in after
Yeah,
the
ours
show.
is off right now,
here's
but
a good
that's for the
question
audience.
that popped up as well. Alexandra asked, Jared and Todd, do you shoot with or without your glasses?
Without, I
The
can't shoot with
diopter
glasses.
doesn't correct for my vision, and cleaning my glasses drives me nuts.
I never shoot with glasses. Never could. Never will. Hate contacts. So I just shoot.
You just use a diopter, or
I leave the glasses in the car. I set the diopter to my eyes, but it doesn't really.
still not great.
Yeah, it's just it looks clear to me, but I rely heavily on focus points and knowing where things are. Like I've got this method down.
So are you always looking through the viewfinder, since that's really like your glasses at that point, or you're still taking off and directing the
No.
model? And
Oh no, I still look.
you can
like
still
my
see
eyes.
generally fine without your glasses, is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, I still see 20/80. I'm 20/35 with the glasses on now, but no, it's no problem. I don't even know that I'm not wearing them. It's just my eyes strain a little more.
Yeah. How about you, Todd?
I got a hearing test yesterday.
What?
Huh?
What?
Are you out? Like, can you not hear anymore?
Well, I've had a ringing in my ears.
It's called tinnitus.
Tinnitus, yeah.
Tinnitus. I asked him if it was tinnitus, and she was like, "No,
It's
stop
tinnitus.
Jared likes to call it tinnitus.
that." But yeah, they put me in a booth and they put things in my ears and
beep.
all that stuff.
Is it
And
beep, beep?
Well, and then the one part was like, no, they did that part, but then they also did a thing where they were like, she was like, listen, say the words the guy says. So the guy will be like, you will say cats. And I'd be like, cats? You will say, and I was like, what if it said something really fucked up? You know, like you
And
will
you don't say, and they're like, you
a
can't hear it.
derogatory term. And I was like, no, I won't say that.
And I will do anything for love.
No.
Nerve.
They said they did say I have like high frequency hearing loss. So if
Is
I
that
don't
from
respond to you,
All
that's-
your rap days?
I guess. But I told my wife, I was like, so when I don't hear you when you're talking, it's because I'm deaf.
Can I tell
Great
the greatest story about working at Alan's camera? There's a really cool story. So when I first started working at Alan's, it's hard. It's not an easy place to work back then. There was like you got thrown to the wolves. And so I'm standing next to Alan and I'm asking a question and I'm being ignored. So I walk away. The next day I ask a question, I'm being ignored, I walk away. And I come to find out that he just can't hear on his right side. It's dead.
Oh, that's great.
And then I said, Alan, I'm like, all these years, I just thought you were ignoring me. Because when he finally got his hearing aids at the time, he could then hear everything. And then I just know that somebody mumbled something when they were walking away. And he's like, now that I have hearing aids, I can hear what you said.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, that was.
I had a
that was
guy
a great
at the
story.
radio station that also was deaf in like his right ear.
What?
What?
He was deaf in his right ear.
Come again?
My mom had 2 hearing aids.
Did she?
Yeah. They told her they suggested that they have 1 kid and not a second because for whatever reason,
Well, they should have taken that.
whatever reason, if she had another kid, for whatever reason, kids took away from her hearing. I don't understand the medical science behind that, but it every time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I took hearing.
It still blows my mind when I'm in the photo pit at a concert and I see a photographer without earplugs.
Oh, that's real.
I've done it once by accident because I forgot my earplugs
What?
at home, and
What?
never again.
No, it's horrible.
Never again.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Anything else there?
Anything else,
there,
Todd?
Todd?
Well, I do. There is a good question. Sebastian asked, have you had any problems with the Benro monopod? I think
Do I
maybe
own
you
a
might be
Benro
interested. I know you guys
We
have
do.
played around with the Benro.
We've actually used the Benro monopod in some of your 5-minute portraits, like the Bedia one or the pancakes. Where
the
you're putting
the blue
one
right.
with it's
Not the Sue-Ray.
not the Sue-Ray, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. I prefer the Sue-Ray if you're going to be doing video because the Sue-Ray has big landing gear, just like the SpaceX.
I mean,
lander.
it essentially stands up by itself.
It does.
It's pretty much like
Stable.
a tripod
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
You could, where the Benro, you would still have to hold it a little bit, but you do have that stability. The tilting head's decent.
It's fine.
I wouldn't use it as a video head, but
It's fine.
for photography, it's great.
Yeah, that's about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I got is shout out to Salire Tech. Sent us $2 for lunch.
Boom.
Thank you.
$2 for lunch. All right, guys. So we appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to tune in for DailyFRO over on the podcast.
Yeah.
Or subscribe to the podcast so that you know when new things go live. If you don't like the DailyFRO, skip it. Listen to something else when it comes out. But I think I'm going to stick with it and keep doing it because I enjoy talking to the camera at the end of the night. Tune into RAWtalks Fridays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. Maybe we'll share it out sooner. Actually, we'll put up the next week's episode after this episode as a holding pattern so that you could send a reminder so that you can get a reminder when it's going to go live.
Yes.
And tell your friends, watch us live. We're going to start giving away things to people who are watching live. Maybe we'll do it.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do it through people who call 267-454-6FRO. Now
We'll
figure it out.
We probably won't do that, but we will. You can use that phone number to leave.
We are going to let the people spin the wheel that are watching live.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Get
that
into the
phone
habit
number,
of that.
With that phone number, you can call and leave feedback. Leave a voicemail, leave feedback. Do you like this? Do you not like this? Are you enjoying it? Have you been inspired by one of us? Let us hear that because we don't get to hear it that often because that's just the nature of the business that we do.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Just know that the audio from this podcast will go up a little bit later on Friday, just because this stays up live, and then we have to compress the audio and put that up later on Spotify
Lazy.
and all of the podcast
Slacker.
apps. So,
all right.
That's all.
So I'm thinking after
Just
I
a
do
heads
my
up.
sign out, Dan, why don't we switch to the wide angle and I'll wave at the camera?
Well, and then we have the end annotation card, too, that we put
Oh, we
up.
have an end annotation card?
Yep,
Yeah.
same as last week.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we got all kinds of
I
stuff.
didn't know this. Well, we'll wave at the camera and then have an end annotation card.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
sounds
Thank you
good.
guys for watching episode 237 of RAWtalk. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
Bye.
Fly,
Eagles fly.
Go click on
on
last
the
week's
screen
RAWtalk over there.
and subscribe.
Click on more Fro videos right here.
And click that
Subscribe
button.
on me because I want you to click me, touch me, feel me,
Click that video.
and bye.
Bye.